Yes, what a guest. We've got the most handsome man on Sportscene. Now, not much competition,
not much
is there?
competition there, let's be honest.
You must look forward. Imagine looking that good on a Sunday night on the telly. He's a brilliant again, I tell you.
Mikey and I, we got on well. It's a long day on Sunday, 9 hours in there, normally get
9 hours?
I get in there about 11 in the morning. You'll have kind of given the producer bits and bobs that you want him to cut for you from a Saturday. I'll speak to guys that are playing in the matches. You've got to get a good feel for it, because at the end of the day, you can't just go out on a Sunday night and say something that isn't necessarily true. So I'll speak to players that have maybe played in the game and say, right, what was the issue? Oh, we were too deep. So I'll maybe then say to the producer, can you give me 5 clips of Hamilton being deep? And then I'll pick the best 3, and then you take that through to graphics, and then you've got to put all the wee things on them. So there's a long process involved in it. But anyway, most of it's stuck in a room with Mikey for 9 hours. It can be a long day, especially if he starts talking about the old politics. And it becomes a grind.
You wind him up?
Aye, but I'm not into politics in the slightest bit. It doesn't interest me. But he is, he's fascinated by it. He loves it. He loves all the propaganda, and I think he's employed by the SNP secretly. He must be. But anyway, he's in there, so I don't know anything, but I'll just think of wee nuggets to drop in during the day to wind him up. And you know what it's like, after a while he's going to bite, so I'll be dropping in things like, but you said it was a once-in-a-lifetime vote, Mikey. And you can just see the steam in his ears coming up, and then he'll just fucking snap. And he'll be like, you're the fucking problem with this country, you prick! I'm just like, yes, Mikey. In you come, son. But it's good. We have a good laugh.
I want to ask you about the clobber. Do you pick your own clobber? Or?
No, I just wear what I want to wear, really.
Is it Burton's?
Fuck off. I don't buy a lot of designer gear, to be honest with you.
But he's always a matching, is that like planned?
I'm not matching. I'll be matching.
I was thinking he's looked quite coordinated. And then wee Johnny's sitting like a bag of washing, man.
He looks like a waiter. He always wears his wee black top with a wee black tie. But Mikey's all right. I've been worried about him recently though, because he's been coming in. He moved house in Edinburgh, and he's been coming in the other day there, and he's like, his phone, look at this. He's put a punch bag in the basement of his house on the roof, and he's showing me this video of him topless, sweating, hitting this punch bag. I'm like, you everything all right, Mike? Everything okay at home? But I took it. Do you know? I went home and I thought about what he was doing, and I've worked it out. And he knows Levine's coming for him. He knows it's happening.
Yeah,
so he's down there. He's down there with Eye of the Tiger on, getting ready to try and for when Levine will knock him clean out. Let's be honest.
Tremendous.
One punch.
But when I spoke to you about him, your words were who? Ginger pubes. Did you ever cross paths when you were playing?
Mikey came when I was at Rangers. Mikey came for a pre-season. I think they went to Germany or something. He was going to sign, but I'm not actually sure why he didn't sign. In the end, he was a good player. Do you know what? He was technically a decent player. Clearly, he had the ability to upset people at times. He still does. But he always, the one thing that you'll get about Mikey is he always, he's not afraid to call something, and he's not afraid of the consequences of calling somebody. He goes for it. And do you know what? There's a lot to be said for that, especially if you're a pundit.
Do you think that brings that out in you as well? Do you feel like I need to do this as well?
Not really. No, I don't want the trouble. No, I just call what I genuinely think when I see the incident. If it's right or wrong, then that's it. That's where you're paid there to give an opinion, and opinions are always subjective. So, like, loads of folk are going to disagree with your opinion. Loads of folk are going to agree with your opinion. One thing it doesn't make you is a prick. It's just my opinion. You fucking prick. You said that wasn't a penalty. Is that right? Calm down, man.
Mate, we say stuff on here, right? We're 3 clowns, and people say to us, can't believe you said that, mate. Who cares?
That's it. We're on there to give our opinion. You give your opinion, you try and do it to the best of your ability, and that's it, But see if people agreed, there would be no football punditry, and people wouldn't speak about it up and down every pub or anywhere across the country. It's the difference of opinion that makes football brilliant.
Yeah, of course.
Because if we all just sat and agreed on everything, it'd be boom.
Right, good. See the social media. Why are you not on it? Is it because of the reaction you get? But the Twitter especially. Is it because of the reaction?
I went on and I came off. David Van Zanten was saying to me, Tom, well, you need to go on Twitter when I was still playing. And I was like, because I know most of the things on Twitter are abusive. You get the odd nice thing said about you. I'm pretty sure you get lots of nice things said about you, but most of it can be abusive. So I thought, right, I'll go on a wee social experiment. I went on. I think I was on for 2 weeks, and I just came off again.
Was there abuse?
Oh,
what, constant?
All sorts of abuse.
Sorry about that,
mate. No, I was getting dogs. But, like, I think you've got to just accept that. Like, Mikey, he'll get dogs abuse and laughs it off and loves it. I don't particularly want to be spending my time reading negative comments about myself. So I'd rather not have that
in
my life.
You done that enough as a player.
Too right, I had plenty of that. Thank God social media wasn't about when I was playing. But
what about in public? Have you ever had any?
Nothing too bad, to be honest. Again, David Van Zanten, his favourite story is we were outside. We came out of Tynecastle and we're signing autographs for the fans, as you do after a game. And
is this when you were at St Mirren, sorry?
Aye, yeah. There's a wee barrier and you're signing autographs, and this wee arse Ned came up to me and went, Thompson, you Fenian bastard. And Vansy's sitting pissing himself. And I'm going, what? He says, you're a Fenian bastard. And I went, do you even know what that means? Right? And Vansy's crying, laughing, and he went, no, but you're shiting Sportscene as well. Like, Vansy loves it. That was me on toast, so I just went onto the bus.
Oh, amazing, man.
Aye, but you don't actually get a lot of abuse. A lot of the time I actually get people being quite complimentary and saying, I like the show or whatever. So if somebody's going to go out their way to call you a prick, then, just ignore them. I think I'm not really in situations where that's going to happen to me. Mm-hmm. I'm at the David Lloyd in the morning, I'm doing football runs and gymnastic runs after school, and I'm not really out at the weekends. If I'm out, it'll be just in my local village or round to somebody's for dinner. So unless it's my mates calling me a prick, I'm not going to get it.
And now you're doing the presenting. It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
It's a tough gig. I mean, I think it's been a very steep learning curve. The Friday night games that Leanne and I do, live games are very unpredictable, especially with the time constraints that we've got on a Friday night. At the end of the show, we might only have 4 minutes to wrap it, but we've got to get in an interview, a league table, and maybe some VTs. So the constant information in your ear, the talk back, to do that is quite intense whilst trying to host the show at the same time. I had a wee go at Jonathan's gig when he was off one weekend. I think it was at his sister's 40th, and I kind of hosted the Sportscene in the studio. It was more comfortable because there's nothing there that's going to go wrong out with your... it's all quite controlled. Plus, you'd auto cue.
Right.
You've no auto cue, obviously, in a live game, or we don't.
So what one do you prefer?
I enjoy them both. I mean, I think we're still making errors. Leanne and I would openly admit that. But, you're not going to just turn up and be a polished presenter straight away. I think Gary Lineker, when he started, was not brilliant at it, and he's got better and better. Even Jonathan, I think when Jonathan started presenting Sportscene about 5 years ago, if you look at his shows then to his shows now, he's become a very competent presenter. Back then, he was learning. He was learning.
No, I'm kidding.
He was learning. So he's now done, hundreds of shows. Anything you do and you do more, you'll get better at. And it's just learning to deal with the talk back and remaining calm when you're shitting yourself. That's the kind of key, I think.
Okay, right. The main career, the old Fitmore. Started professional career at Dundee United.
Yeah.
How did a boy from Paisley end up in the best city in Scotland? Some point.
Do you know what? It's improved a lot since I first went there. The work that's been done in the city now it has definitely improved. When I first went,
it's a shithole.
They didn't even have the overgate when I first went.
Did they not have Wellgate? Wellgate was a scary place.
The Wellgate, aye.
You weren't allowed to go in there without your mum, the Wellgate, man.
We had the Wellgate, that was it. Anyway, so I was kind of scouted by Dundee United when I was about 13 on an S form, schoolboy form. Graham Livingston, who was the kind of coach down in the West.
He's a legend at Dundee United.
The amount of players he took through the system was incredible. He had got myself involved with the training. We trained once a week up at Helenvale, up beside Parkhead. There's an Astro pitch.
Right.
We trained there once a week. We played in the weekend, but we had a very strong team and we were quite successful. We won the league, and then as we got older and older together, I think we won the BP Youth Cup. And with a strong side, people like Craig Easton, Jim Patterson, who I saw actually managing East Kilbride.
Jim Patterson, that's right. Pat, at Steny last year.
Pat Dog, Paul Gallagher in goals. There'll be others I've forgotten to mention, but we had a strong side. So that's how it happened. And very quickly, before I knew it, I was kind of leaving school and going up to live in Dundee. I was in Diggs up in the Hilltown.
Oh,
aye.
Right in the deep end, mate.
Oh, aye, straight in. But it was good. It was brilliant. apart from like, I can remember one instance, and I was sharing a room with a guy called Ian Mauchlan, and we'd been out on the piss, and the deal was, when we came back to the digs, there was one key, he had the key, and we went in, and it must have been 2 or 3 in the morning, and he'd come back separately from me. I don't know why, he buggered off, and I'm coming back, but I know I can't ring the doorbell because the dig woman's asleep. So I'm out the back chucking stones up, and he's not answering. There were stones, and we didn't have mobiles and all that then. So I've walked virtually to Broughty Ferry to another dig house that I knew, to try and wake somebody up to see if I can get into sleep. And none of them were waking up. So they ended up walking from like almost the ferry back to the hill town. And I've eventually had to ring the bell. By this point, it's about 6 in the morning. Dig lady went off her head.
What age were you?
Like 17. Aye. So, aye. But digs, it was good. I quickly moved from a 70 quid a week onto a slightly better contract, and managed to get a flat. It was actually Tommy McLean had said to me and a couple of the other guys, I want you out of digs, I want you to learn how to be a man, go and get an apartment. And we got a flat right next to Tannadice, actually, which it was good and bad.
Mate, I cannot believe he called it an apartment.
No.
You do not get apartments in Dundee as a flat.
It was a flat.
It's a tenement.
Aye. So the 2 guys I lived with,
who was that?
Stephen Fallon and Chris Devine. They never went on to be footballers, but they're still mates. And it was carnage. It was absolutely crazy. But at that point in time, my wife, just now, Joanne, had left school, and she could have gone to Edinburgh or Glasgow or whatever to study, but she chose Dundee. So she was in halls in Dundee, so we would meet up and stuff. And again, I got an improved contract, and I said to them, look, I'm going to get an apartment. I'm going to get an apartment with Joanne, which we did. We got a lovely place just out in Perth Road.
That never talking.
Aye, down that neck of the woods was nice. And then obviously moved in together there.
Brilliant. First team dressing room
at United.
How was it going in? Because it was older players there, as you mentioned, Jim McInally, Davy Bowman.
Savage. Oh, your gaffer, yeah. To be fair, he was one of the nicer guys, but this is guys that were brought up, and even when I was at that stage, it's not how it is now. You know that. You like seen that when you were younger. We were the cleaners, we were the kit men. There was no kit man at Dundee United, so you were in basically 8 in the morning till 5 at night. You'd have a double session, but you'd have to have everybody's kit done. You'd be sweeping floors, cleaning, grout off a tile with a toothbrush, and that was just the way it had always been at Dundee United, and it's a lot of clubs. So it was a good learning process, to be fair. But the guys in the changing room, folk like Dave Bowman, were savage. Just the things he did to you.
As in slaughtering you, or
Aye, slaughtering you. But to be fair, there were a lot of help as well. Maurice Malpass was a massive help to me.
What a player as well, eh?
Oh my God, what a player. Just on the training pitch, if I was going up training with the first team, which started to happen more and more regularly, made my debut when I was 17, Mo in training would be extra tough on me. He'd rat the life out of me. If I'm trying to hold the ball up, he'd be fucking all over me, ratting me. But then he would be like, why are you standing with your back square on? He says, hold me here and stand side on and take the ball with your right foot. Then there's a yard between you and me. And I'm like, that makes a bit of sense, Mo. So he would coach me during training sessions endlessly. And I had phenomenal coaches at that time. I had, from when I went up, Gordon Wallace and Jockey Scott was there. Mo, Heggie, Terry Butcher came for a year and a half.
I heard that actually. Huh?
Alex Smith, Luggy, John Blackley. I've probably missed a few there, but I had an awful lot of top coaches. Spent a very long time in afternoon sessions trying to find me a first touch.
Were you just a lanky stick a piss?
Sorry?
Were you just a lanky stick a piss?
I was. I was raw as fuck. I had some qualities. I was very unpredictable. I would do something amazing, and I would never know how I did it, and then I'd do something really bad. But I suppose I was unpredictable. I think I got into the first team quite quickly because I was tall. Believe it or not, I was reasonably quick when I was young, and I was very two-footed, so I could be, a menace. I used to run the channel all the time, which I stopped doing probably in
rubbish running the channel, innit?
Aye, forget that. We'll leave that to other people. But yeah, I had a great upbringing at Dundee United in terms of the coaches that I had. They really were phenomenal in helping me, and they put in a lot of hours to develop me as a player, so I owe Dundee United an awful lot.
But we've got a theory in it. you were only putting the first team dressing to make it a wee bit better looking?
It was an ugly changing room. It was like an ugly changing room. Aye. Well, Big Elvis was in there. That's all
he's
you know.
Big Elvis.
Big Elvis thinks he's a looker.
He's got a bit Elvis though.
Aye, he does. He dresses well. I like the big man. Owen Coy was in my changing room, who went on to be my manager. I actually did Owen's boots as well.
Right. What kind of guy was he?
Great guy, funny guy. Just wanted to play two-touch in the gym non-stop. It's just like, never stopped, full of energy, banter. I'll get on to him later on as a manager, but I can remember him as a player, just very, very, bubbly.
Yeah. What about the culture differences? So we've talked about your first dressing room at Dundee United compared to your last dressing room at St Mirren. Paul McGowan would have fitted in that Dundee United dressing room.
They don't.
If it's an ugly dressing room, he'd have
come on. Come on, that's outrageous.
He's going to do me in.
Paul was a good lad, but no, the changing rooms, there was no mobile phones, no social media. It was just, you actually had to talk to folk and create conversation, which is a dying art. There was a lot of banter, but it's different banter. Laterally, when I was 36, 37 in the St Mirren changing room, the guys in the team, like wee Lewis Morgan or wee Cammy McPherson that's doing well just now, or even slightly older ones like Jason Naismith and Sean Kelly, who are doing well in the Premiership, they'd be laughing at things that I weren't finding all that funny anymore. And 20 years older than them, and they're always showing me videos on their phone of things I really didn't want to see. So I'm like, do you know what? That's when you know. I don't want to see that.
Right, Jim McLean was a chairman when you were at Tannadice, the legend. Tommy was the first team manager. What was that dynamic like? Did Jim get involved?
I never really saw much of that, to be honest with you. Jim came to my house in Houston in Renfrewshire to sign me on an S form when I was 13.
No way, did he? And he was the manager at Dundee United at the time?
He came all the way down to make sure I signed, because there'd been interest at that time. I think if you signed an S form, it gave you first dibs when you left school on the player. So he came down with Livy, Graham Livison came down to my house. That's a wee claim to fame. But you never really saw too much of him at Tannadice. Tommy again was quite
demanding.
Very demanding, and a lot of them lost their temper a lot of the time. I think that was the way it was then. Nowadays you don't see it as often, and nowadays to motivate players you do it differently than you did then. It was mostly just shouting at people, which has an effect on some people. It didn't have an effect on me. So getting a bollocking, I would be like, oh really? Well, fuck off then. It didn't make me want to do any better. But we had quite a lot of those managers at Dundee United. Luggy, when he came, I think the pressure was on Luggy a wee bit as well, coming to Dundee United, obviously having been in a legend, a huge legend, to come and be successful as a manager. But yeah, they were all good coaches, but back then there certainly was no mollycoddling of players anyway.
Did you see kids get hindered because of the way they were treated like that?
Not then, no, but I think if you were to go back now and stick some of the kids in the changing room that I grew up in for my first 2 or 3 years, trying to develop as a YTS or as a player, they'd struggle without a shadow of a doubt. It's just different times, there wasn't as much emphasis on, I was going to say man management, but like managing individuals, and everybody was kind of treated the same. Whereas I think, nowadays you've got to look at each and every player and know what ticks their box, and I think that's what makes good managers. Right,
okay. Talk me when you say Paul, Sturrock, Alex Smith, were they, again, similar type of personalities to Tommy McLean?
Alex was slightly, Luggy, you could see how much it meant to him. His assistant, Sloop, again, was quite...
Who's Sloop?
John Blackley,
right?
Hibs legend, they could shout, but Alex Smith was slightly less of that mould. I'd had Alex, the Scotland R21s, I had a really good relationship with him, so when he came to be the manager of the club, I was buzzing. And it was under Alex actually I get called up for Scotland for my first cap. So I would say out of all the managers that I had at that time, I played my best football under Alec, which kind of makes me, when I played my best football, generally it was when I knew the manager liked me, when I knew I had a connection with the manager, when the manager was making me feel good. And I think Alec comes under that category.
See at United, what stage did you think I'm flying here?
That season. that season. I knew I was scoring goals, but I was scoring goals in bigger games. I scored a couple of Ibrox against Rangers. I was into double figures for the season, and I had a Scotland call-up.
How was that? Brilliant.
Oh, it was amazing. I thought it was a wind-up. I couldn't believe it.
Who phoned you up, the manager?
Do you know the first person that phoned me was a press guy? They'd obviously got it broken before the manager had told me. And I was like, what? You must be joking. But
Was it John Barnes?
no, it certainly wasn't. But again, it was just a bit surreal. And my first game was against France. We get pumped 5-0, we get pumped. But that was like Henry, Desai, Zidane, all these boys were playing. We took an absolute battering.
See, when you're flying like that at Dundee United, then you go and play that level of opposition, is it maybe a wee kick up the arse because you're flying, so you're on a high, and then is it a wee wake-up call?
I was just buzzing to have got a cap. I'd never expected to get a Scotland call-up, even though I'd represented Scotland from age 15 through to under 21s. It's something I don't think you really ever think is going to happen. Well, I certainly didn't, and that happened to me a lot of times in my career. Things happened, and I was like, I'm in the wrong movie here. How's this happened to me?
Really? What? Because you didn't think your ability was good enough to merit it?
I maybe didn't have that self-confidence, but I certainly never... there was lots of occasions where I was pinching myself during my career. Tons. Like, every club I went to, something monumental happened, and I'm like, I've been very lucky, and I'm very fortunate to have had the career I had, and very grateful, that so many cool things happened in my time at each club. So, fortunate.
Right, you heard about the Scotland call-up for a reporter. When did you first hear that Rangers wanted you?
I knew early doors, to be fair. Big Ek had, I'll always love Big Ek for having taken me to Rangers to give me the opportunity to play at a club like that. He took a gamble on me and took me, and I'm still in contact with him. I text him all the time, and we have a bit of a laugh. But I'd known I was going to Rangers pretty much in October. The problem was Dundee United, I hadn't said to them, they were offering me new contracts, and I hadn't just said to them, because I didn't know the protocol, look, I'm going to Rangers. I don't think I could say that. So I was just saying, look, I'm not sure what my future holds, and delaying contracts that they were offering me. But they were going into the press saying, we've had offered Stephen Thompson the best contract that's ever been offered to a Dundee United player. So I'm coming out in the pitch, and the United fans are giving me all sorts of dogs abuse. Oh, no. Yeah, money grabbing bastard and all this. I'm like, fuck's sake. But I think if you put any sane-minded person in a position with the opportunity to go to a bigger club for about 10 times their wage, they're not going to say no. So
see that feeling when you're getting 10 times your wage to drive into it, is it the best feeling?
Well, it's certainly a nice feeling, yeah. I think not just that. I mean, I think at Dundee United, as I mentioned, the club was quite old school. They didn't have a training ground. I was going from a place where we used to take the goals in the minibus to drive to wherever it was, to train, put them up, take them away again. Training pitches might not have been ideal. We're kind of all round the place training, to walking into Murray Park and basically going, what the fuck is this? Like, it's just like, I'm in the wrong movie. And then I'm taken into the changing room in Murray Park, and here's your locker, wee Jimmy Bell, he's an absolute ledge. Here's your locker, Tom. Ronald De Boer's there, Peter Livinkranz is there, and I've just sat down with that. What the fuck's going on here, man? Wow. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was just ridiculous. And right throughout my 3 years that I spent at Rangers, it happened, the whole thing just went like that. And right throughout it, I was continually going, oh, what is happening here?
Well, every day would you be at training thinking I'm not good enough?
Not every day. No, not thinking I'm not good enough. I'm just thinking, like, if we won something, or if I scored a goal in a certain situation, or the whole thing was just incredible. Like, going from the kind of modest upbringing at Dundee United into this, like, unbelievable luxury where people do everything for you was incredible. And, like, I had to learn quick, though, because I arrived right after the start of January, and I scored my debut against Dundee. Before that match, that's a great story. I'm in the changing room, and I've gone through to the toilets for a Charlie Mulgrew, and the changing room next to me, and the toilet next to me, I've just heard, when you hear the flint in a lighter going? So I've heard that, and then I've heard this noise. It's like, and I've just like, I'm sitting with this, and I can smell smoke, and I just wanted to be able to tell somebody what was going on, because this is my debut. You know, I'd only trained with the guys once, so I'm trying to process that a guy's just lit a fag in the Ibrox toilet. So I've come out after I'd finished my Charlie, threw into the changing room. I think I've said to...
Let's not say that you were taking Charlie in the dressing room.
No! That's a good point. So I'd come through, I think I'd said to wee Shug or somebody, Shug, you're not going to believe what's just happened. I was in the toilet, and the whole changing room stinking of smoke, by the way. Big Egg knows this is happening. I was in the toilet, and somebody's had a fag in the toilet. And like, I think wee Shuggy started pissing himself. So that'd be Claudio. So he used to get a fag, right, and he'd snap it about that much above the filter, and he'd light it and he'd just go, taking hunters of smoke, chuck it down the bog, flush it. And that was him ready for the game.
Can you do?
That was his pre-match.
Wow.
Before every game, getting ready for the game. So, and I was just like, you know, I hadn't seen anything like that. And I suppose Big Egg must have smelt it, but what was he going to say?
Wow.
Claudio, going to just not bother with the fag today, mate.
How good? So you went there as a striker and Claudio Caniggia was there.
Listen, I had to learn so quickly. De Boer, Avaladze, Mikey Moles, Peter, Neil McCann, the forward players were immense. Caniggia. So you can understand why I felt a wee bit out of my depth at first. To be fair, the likes of Ferry and all the Scottish boys and Oz and all them, they helped me integrate quickly, but they slaughtered me a lot.
Who slaughtered you the most, Ferguson?
Scottish boys? No, I'm trying to think. Probably a lot of them. Like that, fucking. Straight away we went on a trip to Dubai. Virtually the day after my debut when I'd scored for a mid-season training camp. And we're in Dubai, and it was virtually my second training session. Jan Wouters is taking a passing job. Now Jan's like, he's a technician, this guy. Top coach. But the standards from where I was at Dundee United had gone from kind of there to there. But I think what I noticed a lot throughout my career was when you're training with better players, their expectation levels and their demands and their standards are higher anyway. So collectively the standards are higher, but they demand more of themselves than everybody else. You know, they're used to having a high standard, so you can't really drop it. Whereas, you know, playing with players at a lower level, they might not give a fuck about the standard too much. So anyway, Jan's, I don't know how I've ended up at the front of this drill. And the drill was at first left-footed pass, short, back, and a long pass. And I've come round, it's rotated round, and it's me that's at the front when Jan decides to change it. And now you have to fucking hit a 40-yard zinger tower burger with extra Nando's sauce, like that off the ground to the guy that's up there. So I can honestly, my arsehole was going like a rabbit's nose.
There is nothing worse, man. See, when you're first and you have to zing it, it's terrible, isn't it?
Horrific. And so I've gone up, stepped up, duck hooked this fucking something to me around like that, right? And like all the Scottish boys are pissing themselves. Neil McCann actually after that christened me Alibaba because he said that my toes started turning up the way I couldn't kick a ball properly.
Quaver toe.
It's a wee dick. So I could just hear behind me like a pure, like, I'm like, oh no, because all the Scottish boys were laughing, but somebody behind me wasn't happy. I hadn't checked to see who it was. Loaded up the second one. Now I'm sweating like Boydie in a sauna here. Next one, wow, another banana. Like, I'm like, oh, no. So behind me I've heard this. What the fuck is this? Ronald de Boer, furious, he's shouting at Jan, the coach. Like, this is my second session. What the fuck is this? No. As if to say, you know, why have they signed this fucking clown? What the fuck is this? I'm like, like, if you ever wanted to feel that size, I'm like, oh my God. And of course, Oz and all the Scottish boys, Fergie, they're crying, laughing, because I'm now on my third fucking go at this.
Right.
My safety sammed it. The world's biggest clip up near, joined in the back of the queue. That was just a wee example of how quickly I had to learn. I had to get better quickly. And do you know what? Because we were doing so much passing drills, because I was training with players that were so better than me, so much better than me, I did develop quickly, and my technique improved, and I learned so much from these guys.
That's an amazing story, man.
It's a good story.
It's a great story. What about Did any of them, like any of the forward players, so Canadian Moles, De Boer, did any of them ever pull you aside? Obviously, you're still a young player.
They gave me a lot of advice. I mean, that was a good thing about them. Ronald used to speak to me a lot. Obviously, I was changing next to him.
What the fuck is he told you all about that?
That's exactly. You're better at the accent than me. Yeah. But Ronald also used to get me into trouble a lot. Like, I used to like making noises, so I'd be sitting, because he was in the changing room changing, where there was lockers.
Yeah.
He was like, but you couldn't, the lockers doors came like that, so you couldn't actually see Ronald there. And I'd be like out of nowhere and make like a really loud noise, and I could just see him. He's obviously shit himself. And then he'd put his head around the locker. What's fucking wrong with you? Pure raging again. I'm like, calm down. So anyway, but he used to help me a lot, just with things like holding the ball up. See, when you pinged the ball at Ronald, it wouldn't matter what foot it was, he would take his touch from the one side of his body to the other, and it would just like roll half a yard onto his left foot. So no matter how you hit it, always across his body onto his left. Whereas I'd be taking balls in on my right and keeping them on my right with my first touch, giving the defender half a sniff to take it away. He would just take it across his body so the defender can't get it, left or right foot. So he would tell me wee things like that. He used to make me do a thing. He used to make me, whenever I was playing with him, he says, whenever the ball goes out wide, I want you to run past the front post. Right? Yeah. So I'd be running past the front post in every game. Wasn't scoring any fucking goals. Right? I'm taking two fucking defenders. I'm taking two defenders. Away past the front post, Ronald would be free in the middle of the box. Header. Cheers, Tomo.
Great run.
You prick.
No decoy run, mate.
Listen. But I was doing whatever he told me. Of course I was.
You remember Barry Ferguson, didn't you?
Fergie, yep.
Must have had some intense conversations about football, man.
Barry could be a really serious guy. He's quite a deep thinker. He could also be silly. We enjoyed a lot of similar things. We got on really well. I'd known Barry since we were kids anyway. So coming to Rangers, he helped me integrate, if you like. Enjoyed wine like I did.
Would you have a few glasses the night before a game there?
No, never the night before, no. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a big drinking culture at the club when I was there.
Craig Moore said that. He said that they liked
there was.
a shandy.
Which was fine because,
that
suited me. Well, I just come from Dundee United as well. We had a reasonable squad for that as well. So, of course, I get involved. But Fergie was, he was a good roommate. Like, I had one thing always sticks in my mind, it makes me laugh. We were away with Scotland, actually, and we were rooming. We were at San Siro, Italy beat us 2-0. I think Pirlo scored free kick. Fergie was brilliant that night.
Right.
I think it was Walter Smith's squad.
It was because Ali McCoy told you a story about that.
Walter never picked me for Scotland. I was in like 4 of his squads, but he never gave me a cap. Just wee Bertie, my wee pal Bertie. Give me all the caps.
Bertie's everyone's pal, so like you, Kevin, Kyle, he's all Bertie.
I love Bertie. Anyway, so there was only one player left out that couldn't get on the bench. It was me. I was in the stand. So I was raging. And heartbroken because it's a San Siro.
Yeah.
We'd get back into the hotel room and I'd got a couple of bottles of wine up to the room and a glass of wine each. I was saying, oh fuck, you can tell I'm pure raging. So if you were like a good roommate, you'd have gone, don't worry, big man, a wee bit of something to encourage me. Fergie, with a wine, pull this way. How fucking good was that tonight? I'm like, what? Is that what you're going to say?
You're waiting for a big inspirational
I was like, don't worry, big man. You'll maybe get capped in the next game.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Anyway, no, but I got on well with Barry. And do you know what? See that season, my first season I joined in January, that 6 months. Oh, I'm not sure I've seen a player play better.
I was just going to say, would you put Ferguson up there with your De Boers, Canadians, Moles?
That 6 months, you'll struggle to see better performances. He was just running things from the middle of the park, scoring goals, never giving the ball away. He's definitely in the top 5 players I've ever played with. He was a phenomenal footballer, Barry Ferguson. He truly was.
Just wants the ball all the time, didn't he?
Aye, and he demanded it, but it was also, he could be a bit of a knob at times as well. Like, he'd be playing in the game and he might pass to you and it might, if his pass, which didn't happen often, wasn't right to you and it was about a yard away, excuse me, he'd be like, well, it's your fucking bad pass. And all the crowd, it's like, oh, Thompson, I'm like, raging. He did that the odd time, but anyway, no, he was phenomenal. What a player.
Was there anyone that was maybe better than what you thought they were? Only when you started playing them, you realised how good they were?
Big Schreck was a good player, to be honest, and he didn't
get
Malcolm? Bob.
Had him on.
And he didn't probably get a lot of it. See for passing a football, again, I don't know if I've played with many better passers of a ball. His lack of mobility maybe cost him sustaining a top level career, if you like. But Bob, all the young Scottish boys, Alec was really good for young players. He gave a lot of young players their opportunities. Mo Ross, I hadn't come through the ranks, but we Shuggy and Alan Hutton.
Stephen Hughes, that isn't it?
Griggsy would have been in amongst all that. There'll be others, and when he signed players, he signed a lot of Scottish players as well. Me and Gav and wee Burkey came through the ranks. But he was very good at giving young Scottish players an opportunity, and I think that maybe gets overlooked because when you look now at a Rangers team, certainly in recent history,
there's not been many.
There's been very few.
See, when you're going for a league at Rangers, you've obviously came to Dundee United. How tense is the atmosphere every day?
I didn't feel it. There's huge pressure. As I said, there was always demands. The demands were higher than anything I'd ever seen for standards. No, because we had that many top players that you just always felt it was going to be okay. I mean, you look at that squad. You had Arteta. You had Fernando. You had Oz, Amoruso, Newman. All the forward players that I'd mentioned. Fergie as well. We had an incredible squad. So all these guys had been over the course and seen it. People like Ronald de Boer, they knew what was needed to get us over the line. They never thought it was going to be as close as it ended up being. Yeah.
Could Big X, even though they're all big names, would Big X still go through then? Or was he maybe a bit more lenient to the bigger players?
I think he's probably a bit more lenient. For instance, letting Claudio have fags in the change room. I need board gaffer. But I think he's probably a wee bit more lenient. But then again, that's managing people and egos, and can you really tear a strip off Ronald de Boer for a bad pass or things like that? But no, I mean, it was incredible. And then leading up to the last of the season, I managed to get a goal in the Dunfermline game. We won. Obviously, Celtic only managed 4 at Killie, and I'll never forget just the euphoria of, I've been lucky enough to feel it a few times on a pitch of winning something, but just the incredible high of knowing that you'd been involved in a team that had won a league. It was unbelievable. What wasn't unbelievable was the 3-day bender straight after it, leading into the Scotland.
Were you involved? Where were you?
Well, this is all new to me, so I'm just on the coattails of the boys that are out, and I'm going, right, let's go for it. So it was epic. It was epic, but we had been given the Wednesday off. We'd been on it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm sure the rest of the guys have told you the details of the things. So Thursday we came in, having not trained since we won. Or I think we did maybe a wee something light on the Tuesday. I came in, I was an absolute bag of washing. Really bad. I was still seriously dehydrated. And still on a ghost chain with every sleep I was having. So it's it was a tough week. And anyway, we come into the Saturday and especially I remember coming in the Thursday and the likes of Stefan Kloss and a few of the other kind of foreign players that hadn't been out bevying with us, they were not happy. Stefan was,
Did he pull you up?
And he could be quite serious at times, so I was just kind of staying out his way. I think he wasn't happy, put it that way. And do you know what? He'd every right to be not happy because we're going to try and win a treble. It's a Scottish Cup final, and a good 7 or 8 of us, we had treated it with contempt. But I didn't know any different, so I'm just jumping on with the rest of them. And well, if Barry's there, I'm all right because it's Barry.
See, on the days out, who would have been the best laugh in a boozer?
They were all a good laugh. Shrek was funny. Everybody was funny. We had a really good changing room, to be fair. But we were into the Saturday in the cup final, and it was the hottest day ever, the hottest day ever. And Dundee were brilliant that day. They're a strong team, really good team. But I was on the bench, and I'm sure it's about 60 minutes. I came on. I won the free kick for Big Amo's goal. Shortly after that, I think we'd used all our subs. Maybe 10, 15 minutes to go. And the mouse, Neil McCann, he'd hurt his foot. So there's no subs. And he's playing left mid, obviously. So Big X shouts on to the mouse, you go up front, Tomo, you go left mid.
Oh,
and see, at that time, I'm sure they brought on me Nacho Novo at right mid for Dundee. Now, to tell you that was I've been serious, that was the hardest 15 minutes of my life. because I knew what was at stake. I hadn't really played left mid, and I was having to track somebody, and I couldn't breathe. I simply couldn't breathe. I took cramp. I was only in the pitch 30 minutes, and I took cramp. And it was so hot, like, see when the final whistle went, I remember just lying on my back, and I wasn't celebrating. I was just like, thank God that's over.
Could you still taste the blue WKDs?
I don't even know what I was tasting. Vomit. But I was so pleased that the game had finished, because Dundee were piling pressure on us. And, you know, I think if we had fucked it, given what we'd done the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, how unprofessional we were, then it wouldn't have been a great story. But thankfully, Big Ammo popped up with a header.
Was it straight back out again?
Oh, I think probably for another couple of days,
amazing.
without even thinking about it. Anyway, mental times.
Great times. Right, night suit. Speaking of night suit, everyone that we've interviewed, former teammates, have said you're brilliant on a night out. Did you used to love it?
Aye, I mean, I've got a habit of being very silly even when I'm not drinking. So when I drink, the silliness levels go up. So there's, you know, thankfully now I'm in my 40s, I've managed to kind of curtail it, and I've been working on that for a decade, of trying to just not be quite as silly. I'm getting there.
What about the best team for nights out that you've had?
They were all good. They were all phenomenal. I mean, like, Dundee United, we'd be Charlie Miller.
How is Charlie's a man, isn't he?
Charlie's some boy. He really is. We'd have a wee Tuesday club at the United. Charlie would be involved in. It was magnificent. We at Rangers, you know all about the squads. I in obviously at Cardiff. We had a great squad. Kev was brilliant.
Kev's wild, didn't he?
He was. My very first, I made my debut for Cardiff, and I managed to score a double, ironically, against Burnley. And we went straight out. Ended up in this nightclub, and the guys from Dirty Sanchez were there.
It was on MTV and that, wasn't it? I remember.
And Pritchard, who I'm still in touch with him. He's a great boy. They'd obviously been in the same nightclub, and they'd a table, so I get brought over. Oh, this is the big guy that scored the double today in his debut, Big Tom. So they're all there, and I'm thinking, I need to show these guys, like, you know, because they're all mental. So I've just picked up a pint and fucked it off my head. It's smashed everywhere. And then I've jumped up on top of the table, and they're all like, yes! So I ended up drinking with them all weekend. It was very, very, very messy. But then I would still be in touch. Like, I'd meet Pritchard out, and we'd go out and drink to the small hours.
He had a long blonde hair, didn't he?
He did. He's now a vegan and a very healthy guy, and he does triathlons, very healthy and all that. So he's completely turned that side of his life around. But we had mental times at every club I've been at.
Guitar as well?
Loads of guitar. Well, Bob Malcolm smashed one of my guitars. A disgrace.
What happened there?
A disgrace. So disrespectful. We'd been in Liverpool. We'd actually paid for our own private jet to take us to Liverpool on a Rangers night out. It was £500 a head. And we'd flown down straight after the game into the airport in Liverpool, bus to the hotel, night out, straight up back on it. And in the morning in the hotel, I think somebody gets sent. I'd paid for a guitar. Somebody gets sent to get it from the hotel and came back with a guitar, 200 odd quid. So I just sit and played for the boys for a good couple of hours with a good sing-song. Then we were back in a private jet, back up to Glasgow. And of course we kicked on out. But I've got a guitar with me. So I'm walking about with a guitar, and we're getting out of a taxi in Shawlands. And for some reason I was like, just hold that, Bob, will you? And I'm trying to get out of the taxi, and Bob goes, I no bother. Walks out with it. Now there's no cover on it or anything. It's still broad daylight. It's like 6. We'd flown up in the afternoon. People are coming back from work and things. And Bob's just picked the guitar up, lamppost, and gone, wrapped it around the lamppost. I'm like, Bob, come on, man. Guy? What sort of behaviour's that? So that guitar wrecked. But I've had so many amazing nights out over my career. I struggle to remember the best stories. Other people will probably give you better stories than I can give you.
Tremendous. Right, some big names came into Rangers 2003, 2004, sorry. De Boer, Frank. Emerson. Wow, Hennenberg. They're legends, aren't they? Why did the signings not work?
We'd lost some big players.
Barry.
Did Arteta go? I think he might have. There was another couple left. Anyway, Frank was coming to the end of his career. You know, incredible career, but coming towards the end of it. Emerson, safe to say he enjoyed the night out.
Did he? Oh, what a guy.
Well, aye, but I'm talking about it at the wrong times. And then...
How wrong? Night before?
I'm not sure about night before, but
maybe Thursday
I think
nights.
we knew when to screw the nut. It'd be safe to say he didn't. Henning was a lovely guy again, but coming to the end of his career, the mix wasn't right that year for whatever reason. I think Big Alec had to make cuts as well, so we were kind of trimming the squad a bit as well. But it was not a good season.
Could you believe when Barry left?
I knew there had to be interest from clubs for him due to that season he'd had.
But were you surprised that he was interested in the...
He'd always been Mr. Rangers and he loves the club, and you know how much it means to Barry, the football club itself. So maybe I was a bit surprised to see him go, but he was right to go. You can't, whether the timing was right, I don't know, but you can't spend your whole life, it's such a short career with just one, experience. He was right to go down and try his luck, probably in the biggest league in the world, and just unluckily for him, it didn't work out. He had a really bad knee injury, actually. He smashed his kneecap.
Yeah. Did you anticipate he'd come back so soon?
Barry? No.
Did you keep in contact when he was away?
Aye, probably. I can't remember. But I expected him to go on to bigger and better things, end up at a bigger club.
People say that they were surprised he went to Blackburn. They thought he could play top four.
He could have.
Yeah?
He could have. I don't think there's any doubt he could have, but he didn't.
Don't know where this is going. Right, we'll move on. 2004, 2005. Helicopter Sunday season. You came on, scored in a crucial game v Celtic at Ibrox, but you lost, falling 5 points behind, 5 games to go. Did you think it was done?
Aye.
Was it said in the dressing room after the season?
It wouldn't have been said, no. But I remember going to Easter Road, thinking to myself, right, Celtic, this isn't any disrespect to Motherwell, but Celtic only have to beat Motherwell. If Celtic had won, that was it, curtains. So you're expecting with the players and the team that they had, that they would go to Motherwell, especially with what was at stake, and win the game. So it was incredible. I mean, I couldn't believe that history had repeated itself again for us to win a title in the last seconds of a league day.
Do you remember where you were when it came through that Motherwell had scored?
I was sitting getting splinters in my arse on the bench.
Who told you on the bench? Was it Jimmy Bell?
I can't remember. The information got to the bench, and I remember we all started getting mega nervous, and then when the final whistle went, the last 10 minutes of that game was played like a friendly, because I'm sure Hibs had to get up.
For Europe, wasn't it?
Aye, they needed something. So basically it just turned into like a game of possession. I just remember running onto the pitch and just everybody was just big hugs, like Big Marvin, who was playing without a cruise ship at that stage. I don't know how he did that. It's incredible.
Was he a top man, Marvin Andrew? We've had him on.
He's a great guy. He used to say to me...
The worst clobber I've ever seen.
Horrific clobber, but a lovely guy. And he used to say, "You've got the devil in you," because I'd always be playing tricks on him and going up behind him and making noises. There's something wrong with you.
You've got the devil in you, brilliant.
But I got on really well with him. He was so hard.
What, up against him in training?
Not deliberately, not like a hard man hard, but physically, he was an incredible specimen, and he was fearless.
No wonder with a face like that, I thought you would be fearless.
Well, I'd played against him enough times to know, You
could head the ball so far, couldn't you?
But it wouldn't matter. Normally if I'm going up for a header, I've got my arm up, thinking, right, I don't want my face to get hit, and I'll maybe kind of, it just doesn't matter what it's my face, I'm just going to header the ball. He didn't care. But he was a tremendous guy to have in your team, because see when a ball gets swung into your box, if you're defending a corner or something, you just head Marv's, and that was it. Get the fuck out of the way. As soon as he shouted that, just basically get in the brace position.
See, winning the league unexpectedly, is that better than the first time you done it? Maybe going to Easter Road thinking...
I can't remember, but again, it's another one of these pinch me moments for me. I can't remember. Though my 3 years at Rangers went by very, very quickly, and I can't remember too much of it. I was young at the time, we're talking about a good 15 years ago, but I remember distinctly just going, how have I ended up, winning leagues and cups and, scoring in Old Firm games or scoring in Champions League games and having all these incredible experiences that I never ever thought I would get the opportunity to have. So, it was an amazing time. My 3 years at Rangers ticked every box that, I wanted to tick.
See, on that, goals in Celtic Rangers games, goals in Champions League. You think you deserve more of a chance?
To be fair, you look at the competition, because after the players that I'd mentioned had left, we signed Dado Purzo. What a player he was. Again, he had no cartilage. The big man could only train like on a Friday. 0 cartilage in his knee, but what a player he was for having no cartilage. Me Nacho came, and obviously he was banging the goals in. So it was difficult to get in the first team regularly to starting. I think I was never consistent enough in my time at Rangers. You know, I would have a good game, and then I'd maybe get put in, or I might get an injury, or I never strang a proper run together. And Big came to me like in the August. My contract was up the following summer, and he came in the August and he said, "Look, big man, just letting you know now, we're not going to be giving you an extension to your contract the following summer." So at that point in time, I thought, right, I need to try and get out in January, because we were signing Boydie at that point in time, and I thought, right, I'm going to try and get out in the January window, which I eventually managed to do, to get down to Cardiff. I wasn't playing well at that point either. You
ever chat McLeish's door and say, I feel like I deserve more of a chance during your time at Rangers?
No, but I think I was, when he told me that, I hadn't been playing particularly well. I'd been getting a wee bit of dogs off the crowd and stuff, so I was on a bit of a low anyway. So I probably wasn't, going to go and chap his door. But as I said, I have 0 regrets about my time at Rangers. Only amazing things happened, and every footballer, your journey comes to an end at a club and you move on, and as you're going to find out, I had some incredible moments at other clubs.
Tell you something, you made a couple of great runs past the front post though.
You're not joking. That's exactly what I did. Ronald got about 5 hat-tricks off of that.
Right, Cardiff. Why Cardiff? 12 in the Championship, weren't they?
They were. Why Cardiff? Because they came in, offered the money, offered me a good contract to go for 3.5 years, and I wanted out. So that's pretty much how it happened. I wasn't good enough before I left Rangers to sit and draw up a list of clubs. I wasn't like...
Was that the only club that came in for you then?
I can't remember if there was other clubs floating about. Darren Jackson was my agent at the time. He would know, but they came in. I mean, I wasn't good enough to sit and go, right, Darren, have a wee look at who's top of the chart. Have a wee look at West Brom for me, will you? And then, whatever came in, I pretty much had to maybe take. But they were matching pretty much my salary, and I think the Rangers get £250,000, so everybody was happy. And off I went, apart from probably my missus, because she was 6 months pregnant with Gracie, our daughter. So when we went down to Cardiff at first, it was a bit of a scramble to get everything going in terms of that, but she's brilliant with that. Never once throughout my career moving from different club was it any problem, just sailed through it.
Was it the Mrs. Addis on Insta as well? Well done.
No, I told no, careful. I told her she had never, no disrespect, but she'd never heard of you or the show and things, and I said, I'm going. I wish I had. She's been sliding into your DMs for Great Britain.
What a family, the Thompsons, are they?
Aye, anyway.
Great picks.
Aye. So anyway, she was great in terms of whenever we had to move.
And Dave Jones, manager, what was he like?
Oh, good at first. Then got a bit sour when he asked me, he said he was putting me on the transfer list.
Why?
I wasn't scoring enough. But myself and Michael Chopra had a brilliant relationship up front. He would score 20, I'd score 7, I'd set up 7 of his. It was working. So when he came to me and said, I'm putting you in transfer list, you're not scoring enough goals, I was like, well, I've just moved down from fucking Glasgow. My missus has just given birth. I think Joanne was then maybe pregnant again with Struan. Both of my kids were born in Wales. I'm like, you fucking wind me up. I had 2 years and a half left of my contract. Anyway, that summer we went away and we were at a friend's wedding in Cyprus, and I fell off a banana boat sober, and it was like at 10 in the morning. Maybe I wasn't sober then, but it was like, fell off the banana boat, ripped my groin off the bone. I didn't realise that at the time, got back, got a scan. So I couldn't move in the window. I wasn't going to be fit again till October. By the time I got fit, I'd actually get back into the team. But at this point in time, Growler and Big Jimmy Cash in the bank had arrived, so it was difficult to get.
Who's that?
Jimmy Fly.
Tremendous.
Big Jimmy had arrived and Robbie. 2 amazing guys. For the careers that they'd had.
McNaughton loves Fowler.
No wonder, he was a funny boy. And the very first week that he arrived, he's like, who's coming out? He's, like to drink like this. I fucking come out. So we went out, a good 10 of us, and a big slap up meal and blah blah blah, and he paid for it straight off the bat, as his kind of welcome to the boys. It was great. He was a great guy. He had one of the best fancy dress outfits I've ever seen. It was just incredible. We were in Dublin, and we were in, what street was it? Temple Bar. We were in like the old Dubliner bar, and he was late down. It was like a 10 o'clock meet in the pub. We'd get the pub opened early, obviously, and everybody's in their fancy dress. Where's Robbie? Where's Robbie? Where's Robbie? He'd wanted to make this entrance. So he says, get everybody to text, and goes, get everybody to look out the pub. So we've all piled out the pub, and he's coming right down the middle of the road. I don't know, like he's got roller skates on. He's got I think he's got hot pants on and like luminous 80s gear, and then a big wig. And he's gone and bought, like, you remember the huge ghetto blasters? Big, massive ghetto blaster. Obviously, the batteries are in it. He's pumping out like 70s disco music coming down the roller skating down right into the pub. What an entrance. What a guy. He was a great guy, but he was struggling at that point in time to get fit, and he wasn't the player that he was, which was one of the best of all time. Jimmy still had a wee bit about him.
But there's no way Hasselbank would have done something like that.
No, to be fair, Jimmy turned up in a kilt. He was CU Jimmy. So he had the ginger wig on and all that. He could have a laugh, Jimmy, to be fair. I was in contact with him for a wee bit after we left, until my brother had come down to watch Burnley versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and wanted to go out. So I'd said to Jimmy, I'd messaged him and says, do you think you could get us this fancy nightclub near Chelsea? Do you think you could get us on the VIP list? He says, yeah, I'm going to contact one of the fixers and all this. So got all fixed up, and me and my brother and my mate and our wives got into this VIP area. Anyway, we get ejected via the kitchen for me scrapping with some guy.
Yes.
Head first out the kitchen, and needless to say, I've not been in touch with him since to say, can you get me tickets for anything? But I've got my Insta, and he likes my pictures, so he can't be
too bad. But by the way, hardest shot in football.
And no backlift either. He could just get that shot off from nowhere. Incredible. Wow.
Tremendous. Another top player. Some of the top players who played it. Aaron Ramsey. How good was he as a young kid?
He was just a kid, and I remember Gavin Ray and Stephen McPhail. What a player Stephen McPhail was.
McPhail, left footer, what a player. Leeds, tremendous.
He's a tremendous guy and family.
I played in his was it testimonial? We came down, do you remember?
Oh, so you did.
That was fucking hopeless.
Anyway, what do we call it? I remember them saying, can you get near this boy? Like, because they were obviously against him in the middle of the park in training. I cannot, like, one of these wee guys. Arteta was a bit like that. Barry, maybe to a certain extent, that it was just a move ahead every time. He knew where everybody was round about him. Just had that awareness that I never had, and always was in space when he received the ball, which all the top players are because their movement's so good. He was phenomenal, and he was going on to have an unbelievable career. 400 grand a week, I think he's on just now, so he's doing all right. That was a rumour at Juventus, wasn't it?
Tremendous.
Not bad. You'll
That's
take
Sportscene money, isn't it?
BBC Scotland, not quite.
Right, 2008, Owen Coyle came into your life.
The Mongoose, what a guy.
Why the Mongoose?
Don't know. And it's only me that calls him that, so I have no idea. But he was a tremendous guy, and obviously I knew him from having cleaned his boots and being at Dundee United with him as a kid. He, in the last kind of day of the transfer window, had said, big man, can you come up to Burnley? I still had a year left on my contract, and I was going to have to take a wage drop, but Dave Jones had kind of made it clear I wasn't going to play. Even though I'd started his first league game of the season, Dave Jones, me and Ross McCormick up front, we'd actually got a wee partnership going quite well, but he was wanting me out anyway, Dave Jones, if you like, and Coyley, I just had to speak to him on the phone to know that I wanted to go up there. So I went up to Burnley, we signed the contract, and I thought, right, this is me getting a step closer to St Mirren, moving up towards the north again from Cardiff. It's another couple of years, decent money, but it's going to be a grind because Burnley at that time, I was looking at the league, we were kind of down third bottom when I joined. Small squad, no facilities, no nothing. This is going to be tough. It turned out to be the best year. Just, you would not have believed.
And why is that? Down to his enthusiasm?
Coyley and me, Sandy, Coyley especially, just made you feel 10 feet tall and put so much belief in you. I had a very good season that season. He made everything fun, so I've heard people be critical of him, say he maybe doesn't do enough shape and all that kind of stuff. I think with our squad at that time, we had a very small squad and we had a team full of leaders. You know, people like Stephen Caldwell, Clark Carlisle, Graham Alexander,
Robbie Blake,
Wee Blakey, he'd a very strong core of guys, Michael Duff, who would look after and manage situations on the pitch. Training was at a tempo, always at a standard, but it was fun, and you spent most of your day laughing, and you always went into work looking forward to work, because it is work, and you went in looking forward to your training.
Stephen Fletcher told us, right, when he signed for Burnley,
The Fletch.
His medical was playing head tennis with Owen Coyle.
It wouldn't surprise me what a player Fletch was, to be fair. But we that season was incredible, and we just kept winning and winning and winning. And then obviously the playoff semi-final, I managed to get one of the best goals I've ever scored down at the Majeski against Reading, a volley, and that was us at Wembley. And we were confident going into the game because we'd pumped Sheffield United twice that season already. I think big Craig Beattie was playing for Sheffield United in the final, and we won. And then, to be fair, that night I think Coyley got offered the Celtic job, so his head was all over the place. So was wee Sandy's. He's like, I'm not going to those bastards. But we'd go, and actually, weirdly enough, Gary Caldwell and Scott Brown and Big Glenn Luvins and a few other Celtic players had come and they'd gate crashed our part. We'd hired this big room in a hotel in London. They'd come down to watch Stevie Caldwell, Gary's brother.
Right,
and they came in and had their drink with us in the party, which was good laugh.
Oh, brilliant.
But no, an amazing year. Probably, you know, as a whole year, my most enjoyable. And Owen Coyle, certainly for me. I mean, I just love the guy. A phenomenal person, but the lift he gave me that season in terms of confidence, no other manager's done.
What's Owen Coyle? See, when you're on that sort of run and you win games, is Owen Coyle after games? Is he jumping about the dressing room?
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. He was jumping about training. He took part in most of the training sessions.
Still decent.
He was brilliant. He had that wee swivel and shot. I mean, again, you know, it could be hard when he needed to be hard.
Right.
I remember, it was a shame for him actually because we'd been pumped off Wolves at Molineux. And he came into the changing room and he's going fucking nuts, shouting every day. And he's got wallies. He's shouting every day. And they fucking went across it and they landed on the floor. And you know one of them when you're sitting going, you don't know whether to laugh or not. But wee Sandy started pissing himself. So the boys were gone. He just walked out the changing room. He had to just walk out. It was brilliant.
Did he get the other boys on Iron Brew?
Anyway, we always played on Friday shooting for Iron Brew. You had to bring the juice and cakes in the next Friday. I was an Iron Brew addict, to be fair. Loved it.
We've had the one here actually. He's so enthusiastic.
He's a great guy.
How was the feeling starting at Wembley? Did you know before the game you were starting?
He told me. I'd obviously started the semi-final and scored in the semi-final, so if I hadn't started in the final, there'd have been words to be had. Again, he'd created an atmosphere where you're going into a playoff final, probably named the biggest game in the world in terms of financially, going into a playoff final to get to the Premiership. Again, you talk about moments in your career. I'm going, if we win this game, or when it did happen, I'm going to be playing in the Premiership. That doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. So like, moments in your career where you're going, this isn't what's happening. Anyway, we won the game, we controlled the game. Wee Wadey scored a fantastic goal. But before the match, I remember distinctly not being nervous and very much in control, but that was his influence on the whole team. I remember we're in the changing room before the match and, you know, he's kind of getting ready to do his team talk and it was very brief. He basically just said, because, you know, you want to make sure that there's no tension. He kind of went like this. Right, boys, listen in. How the fuck have we managed this? So all the boys start cracking up and then he goes, in all seriousness, and he used to always say this, don't have any regrets, don't leave anything out in the pitch. You deserve to be here, you deserve to win it. And we went out and we won it. And it's remarkable because you're immediately on to double dough as well. So you're just thinking to yourself.
Is it double,
Well, it was for most of the boys that had in their contract. But we were always going to struggle because the club had put a 15 grand a week or something cap on the wages. So I think Fletch was probably on that when he came down. He was a big signing. But you're playing against teams that have, you know, far superior budgets than you, and it was always going to be a struggle. And then Coyley, of course, got offered the Bolton job and he couldn't knock it back, having been an ex-Bolton player. I wonder whether he regrets that or not, I don't know.
I think he said on here he does.
Aye, maybe.
Would that be the best moment in your career? that day.
Apart from winning the cup with St Mirren, that probably is up there. As I mentioned, like winning the league for Rangers in the last game of the season. With Cardiff, we played in an FA Cup final, which was an unbelievable experience.
I was there.
Lost it. Were you there?
I went down, me and my mate.
You were
there. Kev got his tickets.
Oh, did Kev get you in? So it was an unbelievable experience. But then, just playing in the Premiership was incredible. Brian Laws came in when Coyley left, and
a bit boring, wasn't he, Brian Laws?
He didn't have the authority, man. Like, we went on a pre-season trip to Portugal, not pre-season, mid-season, that season, probably to try and make sure that we try and galvanise for the second half, try and stay in the Premiership. It was the biggest stag do you've ever seen.
Yes.
It was a 4-dayer of like monster proportions. Me, Kev McDonald, and Brian Easton, Hamilton captain. We were staying in this really plush apartment block, hotel apartment, and him and I and Kev had an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment. We'd been out one of the nights, came back, and just messing about in the living room or whatever, and an egg fucks me off the back of the head. I'm like, okay, right, so it's going to be like that, is it? The biggest food fight you've ever seen. No, I mean, like, it got really out of hand quickly. Things escalated. Like, a pineapple missed my head by like a quarter of an inch. So, eggs, tomatoes, the fridge was emptied because it was fully stocked for each apartment. Woke up in the morning, I've come through in the buff into the lounge, and oh no, we are in big fucking trouble.
What, place wrecked?
But I was trying to work it out. There was smashed pictures, there was fucking tables off legs. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, Kev, Eastie, get up! So I'm through, and they're obviously still out their nuts. I'm trying to be a bit more serious because I'm older. So I'm under the kitchen getting all the sprays and all that. And I'm trying, egg doesn't come off walls.
Does it not?
Oh, does it fuck?
Right.
I'm scraping it that much, there's paint coming off. They're standing laughing at me because I'm naked doing this, scraping it off the wall. Eastie goes to open the curtains so we can get a better look at what we've done. The fucking window's smashed and there's a melon on the floor. So at this point I'm going, look, boys, this is not good. So we tried to do the world's worst clean up, and we're walking down to, we're going to be training. Brian Laws obviously doesn't know that we've wrecked the room, but as we're walking down to training, I had to walk past this communal swimming pool. I looked in the swimming pool, and the tennis table's in the swimming pool, and I was like, yeah, fucking beauty. Somebody else is getting dragged in here. So we go down to training, and Brian Laws has held this big kind of circular meeting before we train. Boys, we come along here to kind of do a bit of team bonding, but it's been taken far too far, and he doesn't know we've fucked a room at this point. I'm going, oh no. But I'm looking round all the boys, and I'm saying, where's fucking big Clark Carlisle? Oh, he's not here. Honestly. Just you heard like somebody shouting. You know those golf buggies that the cleaners use with the towels in the back?
Oh, yeah. Comes
like Dukes of Hazzard over the top of a hill, lands, towels everywhere, comes up, handbrake turns into like the middle of the meeting, right? Jumps out. He's wearing a pair of slips and a pair of brown brogues. He's like, I'm ready to train, gaffer. See, at that point, I looked at Brian Law's face, and you could just see this man knew we were getting relegated. That was us finished. Oh,
amazing,
dear.
Man.
Ridiculous scenes.
Oh, was that a good dressing room?
Brilliant. We had a great...
Kev McDonald's some boy, isn't it?
Kev's a lovely boy, funny boy. Big Eastie as well. But we had a really, really strong changing room for 2 years, and then Eddie Howe came in, and Eddie came in and he was the same age as us. Is
that weird?
It was weird because he came in and Eddie's by nature's quite serious. I don't know whether he is off the pitch, but when he came into the job he was quite serious and quite, I think he felt as though as a young manager he had to gain respect very quickly, because maybe people thought you could trample all over somebody because they were young, and there was at least 6 or 7 of us who were the same age, if not older, from Coyley's squad. And he maybe found that a wee bit intimidating, but we all kind of get bombed out slowly, and he started to get younger players. Marvin Bartley at Livy, he came in, and...
Signed Charlie Austin that, didn't he?
Charlie, what a player.
Screwball as well.
He is. So we all kind of eventually get bombed out.
Right, and then St Mirren, mate.
Amazing.
Were you so buzzing when were you always in contact with St Mirren coming towards the end of your career?
No.
Was it always your thought to go and finish your career there?
At St Mirren?
Yes.
Aye. Born in Paisley, brought up, when I say brought up a St Mirren fan, I never got to go to that many games. I went to the Scottish Cup final And I lived next door to a player called Barry Lavetti, who...
I remember him.
Aye, big bash.
Blonde hair.
Aye, nutter. Who then broke into the first team. I'd grown up playing football with Barry in the park behind our house. He's a wee bit older than me, and we'd grown up basically from the age of about 5 through to 14 until his mum said he wasn't allowed to play anymore because he was getting too serious towards the first team. Barry broke in, and then we went along and watched him every single week, myself and his sister and my brother. So I was infatuated with Barry. I knew St Mirren's number 9, blah, blah, blah. So it was weird that I ended up being a St Mirren number 9, and 2 St Mirren strikers came from the same street in a village that's population is like 4,000. Wow. It's mental, that. But St Mirren, yeah, I mean, I had options. I think at the time, Derek McInnes had been in touch at St Johnstone, maybe. I think Hibs maybe were interested. There was a late sniff from Charlton. But I was always coming up to come home. We'd bought a house, actually, the house we live in now, whilst we were in Burnley. It was always the plan to come up the road because the kids were getting towards going to school. We wanted them to go to the school that they're in. So, again, you know, coming into a club, for me, it was amazing. I was actually nervous coming in because I was coming back up the road, and a lot of people that I know from our area and our friends and family are St Mirren fans. So I felt a bit of pressure, you know, to be able to do well. Yeah. And with another great squad of guys, brilliant. And to go and win the first trophy. Did
you ever think you'd win a League Cup?
No.
Never think you'd win a cup?
Why would you?
At what stage did you know you had a right good chance?
When we beat Aberdeen, which I think was the quarters, was it? Up there. And then we had Celtic at Hampden. So you're approaching the game. I mean, that Celtic at Hampden victory is the best I've seen a St Mirren team play in a long time. We were brilliant that day. It was wee Meatballs, one of his first games. He was battering Wanyama about. Wee Paul McGowan was brilliant.
Good player.
Goody, Craig Sampson was great in goals, and Vanzi had a brilliant game. We actually had not a bad team at that stage. You know, Thiele, top player. And we'd signed Diesma Gonçalves. So we're not bad, but it came together for us in that semi-final. And when we won that, I kind of was like, we're going to do this.
And how was the final? Build up?
We started really badly. The build-up was immense. And, you know, we got taken away up to St Andrews. And the build-up from a professional point of view was excellent from St Mirren. They did everything right. Danny Lennon and Austin McPhee and Tommy McCraig. You know, I wouldn't have prepared any differently to how we did. In the game itself, Hearts scored first. We were taking an absolute pummeling. They should have been 3-0 ahead. I think Big Steve-O scored, but we were getting battered. And then right on half-time, we managed to get another goal. We managed to get a goal. I crossed it in, or I put Thiele down the wing. Thiele crossed it in, Isma scored. Great time to score. Half-time, the boys are kind of, right, we're getting back in about it. Straight after half-time, I managed to score. Which was just to score in a cup final for your boyhood team that you supported. That's it. Doesn't get any better. I should probably just come off the pitch and retired.
After that,
aye. You know, because
emotion. Would you get emotional?
Fuck aye.
And tears went out after the game.
We went out we went out for about the next 3 weeks. But that night we had an organised thing by the club. The following day we went out, and I remember me and Big Mark McCausland, Cheesy, just crying our eyes out. For half an hour, just obviously alcohol, something to do. But we were just crying our eyes out the whole time we were there. That was an epic 3-day. Fancy turns up at my house the morning after we win the cup. We'd been out that night. The kids had gone to school. It's 9:05 where I create a bud. Ding dong. I'm like, get in before the fucking neighbours see you. Get one of them opened. Now with a massive 3 days. Didn't win a game for about 6 months after that.
Who cares, mate?
It was good.
Just on John McGinn. Could you tell?
Meatball.
Be honest. Could you tell he was destined for big things straight away?
No.
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 And why no?
Because he had a rawness about him back then. He's always had the kind of awkward look to him, John, on the pitch. But I knew he was a good player. I think when he went to Hibs, he improved a lot. And then getting in the Scotland squad, he improved again. When he went down to Villa, he's just... What he's done is he's continued to improve. A lot of people reach a certain stage and maybe plateau.
Great word, plateau.
It is. And John, he's yet to plateau and he's keeping on going up, and it's brilliant. I'm so delighted for him because You need to get him on. He's very, very funny. He does a brilliant Andy Murray impression.
Right? Buzzing. Right.
It's brilliant.
Now, all this nearly never happened because you will be known as the guy that chipped John McGinnihan.
It's a horrible moment. It's something I don't like talking about.
But did you actually shit yourself when it happened?
Aye. It was horrific. That's without a word of a lie. It was horrific to watch.
Obviously an accident.
Aye, we were to dribble through poles. There was a pole there and a pole there, and he'd got in front of me and dribbled through the pole. I'd banged into the pole, and it was in my chest, and I just grabbed it. But he was facing that way and running that way. So I've gone to throw it behind him, like, you wee bastard. And he's Cruyff turned as I've thrown it and started coming back this way because somebody was pressing him from that side. It's just gone in and out of his thigh dead quickly, and I didn't realise at that point in time how deep it had obviously gone in. It's probably gone in, I don't know, a long way, but thankfully our club doctor was on site at the time and he dealt with it very well, but obviously there'd been muscular damage, pretty much out for the season. It was horrific, absolutely horrific. I spoke to John's mum and dad and, it was a horrible moment, obviously more so for John, but, it was just, I hate thinking about it. It gives me like massive heebie-jeebies. Just think if you threw it his head, it would have bounced straight off as well. He's not joking. His feet are actually huge. Okay, it's toughened him up, mate. You've toughened him up. Aye, you take credit for his. Right, I always wanted to ask this as well. Why never into coaching? I was going to. I did my B licence. I've done my A licence. I might have gone on to the pro, but at that time, Jim Goodwin and Gary Teal were given the assistant managers' jobs when Danny Lennon left under Tommy Craig, and they were put on their pro by the club. And I think my nose was out of joint a bit. I was just kind of, so I kind of never went on it, and then I never really was proactive with it. I was just kind of a bit. I got my licence, and when I got my licence, I was quite into it. Yeah. But I never. I think you've got to then start taking a team or helping with the 20s, and I was just concentrating and trying to finish my career, and I never was proactive enough with it. I don't regret that decision. It's maybe in the future. I don't think so, because I really enjoy what I do just now, an awful lot, and it gives me. I've got a great life balance in terms of the work and being able to spend time with the kids and family. And go to the David Lloyd in the morning. And watch your boy, who is a player, I've heard, an absolute player. He is indeed. Good. And lastly, how do you look back on it all? I look back with no regrets, and I've again been lucky enough to be involved in some incredible moments at every club I've been at, to meet some unbelievably funny people, great people, and have a hell of a lot of good nights out. Tom, a pleasure. Top man, what a guy. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.